Hi, my name is Matthew Lambing, and this is my video blog, I guess, on William Carey, the English Baptist missionary, as well as he was a particular Baptist. He lived from August 1761 to June 1834. To many, he's known as the father of modern missions, and he was also a great translator as he translated the Bible into a lot of different languages. So I'll start out with his early life. He was born in Pollarsbury in 1761. His family was very involved in the Church of England, and so he was raised that way as well. At a young age, I believe the age of 5, he was apprenticed to a pretty famous cobbler in the area, and so he learned that trade. And his whole life, he referred to himself as a cobbler, and that's how that worked. And then he was also, during his time as a cobbler, he actually took the time to learn many different languages such as Spanish and French and Italian. Um, Later on, after he moved away from that, he was a particular Baptist. He moved away from the Church of England. Particular baptism is pretty much Calvinism. And he became a pretty famous pastor who really was led to the missionary field. In 1792, he published the missionary manifesto called An Inquiry into Obligations of Christians to Use Means for the Conversion of the Heathens. What it essentially revolved around was Matthew 28:18 through 20, which was to go and make disciples of all nations. And he felt that it was still very relevant and binding to Baptists today, that not only was it something that we should do, but something that we have to do. So his missionary field was India. That's, I think, where he felt led to really minister. He left England in 1793, so he's about 32 years old at this time. And when he went over there, it took about a year to get there due to the East India Trading Company having very strict laws against missionaries. And so once he got there, he had a friend that actually owned several indigo plants, and he needed managers. So he actually became a manager of one of the indigo plants over there, and actually did that for about 6 or 7 years. While he was working there, many felt led, and he influenced many, so other missionaries actually followed him over there. And after a while, they all purchased a house together and lived in a sort of community home. And in the area, the local religion was Hindu. And so there was a lot of problems with that, leading people to Christianity from Hindu. It was sort of a culture shock. In 1801, Carey was offered a position as a professor of Bengali at the new college called Fort Williams, which was very prestigious for him, and it also allowed him to use his essentially TAs to help translate the Bible into Bengali and other languages. Then in 1807, before this, he was married to a woman named Dorothy, and in 1807 she actually passed. And she had struggled with depression and insanity due to her son had passed a few years back, and she never really recovered from it. Then the next year, in 1808, Carey remarried a widow named Charlotte, and he was actually married for 13 years until she died as well. One of his major accomplishments would have to be translating the Bible into several different languages that were not necessarily illiterate, but had never had the Bible translated into those before. So that was a major accomplishment for him. Languages such as Bengali, Sanskrit, and many others. He actually suffered some controversy with the missionary field, and due to that, eventually left and lived on the campus grounds. And then in 1834, Carey died of, he had many medical issues, but he passed on in 1834 while living on the college grounds. This is my brief biography on William Carey, and I hope you enjoyed it.